so hustle is my love language. I had to interrupt the video just to kind of catch up to speed what you're about to see. So the last time you watched the video, I think it was around September 18th, the day where my dad just couldn't kill an elk if his life depended on it. We definitely wounded an elk. He lived. Bow hunting is hard. Elk hunting is really hard, especially on public land when you're doing it yourself. So fast forward, bought an elk tag I think on the 21st, my second elk tag, and basically hunted that day, that afternoon. Found some elk but didn't get on anything, kind of more of a scouting day. And then September 22nd happens to be my dad's birthday. We always seem to kill elk on this day. Today will be no different. So what you're about to see is, I was trying to explain in the video, my dad and I split up in the morning, and I could not get the wind to behave itself. A front was blowing in. It was swirling. I got a couple different bulls to answer. I had to do a big 3-mile loop. Got in on one bull, called him into 12 yards. In alders, couldn't get a shot. And by the way, this bull looked like the bull my dad had shot. I was pretty sure it was him. I got a pretty good look. So he was doing fine. Wind swirled, hit the back of my neck. He bounced. And then I worked up over this next ridge and got another bull with cows to come in. I saw them coming in at 60, and then the wind hit the back of my neck. And then by that time I was like, I'm getting off this mountain. All I'm doing is educating elk. So I came down the mountain, met up with my dad, and he was like, no dude, I got this bull across the canyon just going crazy. So I sat there, ate my lunch, listened, and I was like, okay, I gotta admit, this pool is pretty hot. Let's give it a shot. So took us a couple hours to work in, up the drainage, circle, across the creek, get on that side, a place we'd never been before. And we found one small opening, and we set up and started calling. And unbeknown to us, we snuck into where all the cows were bedded. They were bedded all around us. There had been at least 20 different cows and calves. And when he finally answered my dad, he was doing what is known as like a herd gathering bugle, where you'll hear a little bit of a lip balm, but he's basically saying, ladies, get up, grab your stuff, we're getting out of here. And it took us just a couple exchanges to realize he wasn't going to come in, and all his cows started standing up and trotting to him. And so at some point I'm like, all right, I got to leave my dad. I'm going to pretend I'm a cow, and started calf calling my way to him in the brush. Didn't know that it was that thick and nasty in there, and it's super steep. So I got a head camera on that sucks, and I'm trying to, I have an arrow knocked on trying to fight brush, and I'm going up after him. So what you're about to see is me. I think I eventually put my arrow away, and I just start going at him, and we do this little dance where we go up, 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 and every time he holds his ground, I finally switch to where I had left my dad far enough. I start bugling and challenging him, and we do this dance for what I would say is about 35 minutes. I've condensed it down to just like a minute or two of all the exchanges, but eventually I get him to hold his ground at about 500 yards at his level. And then towards the end of my point of view camera, you're going to have to really listen closely before I shoot him, which you can't tell because of the crappy head camera. He's actually glunking his way to me, and we did finally measure it. I shoot this bull at 6 yards, right, slightly downhill. I go right, well, just pretty much just right in here at an angle where the arrow would hit right center mass, and the bull goes literally about 30 yards and falls over. So check this out. This is the next part you're going to see is all point of view camera, and then the recovery. All right, so we did not follow blood. I shot the herd bull. There's so many elk that we thought we heard this bull down here. I shot this bull at about, what'd you say?
6, 7.
6, 7 yards, and got half the arrow in him, and he didn't go 100 yards.
Dude,
so we're walking up on him now.
news for you.
What's that?
You got a huge taxidermy bill coming up.
Are you sure?
Wait till you see his mane. Wait till you see it. Have you ever seen that before?
But he looks dead.
But jet black. Look at his mane.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
Jet black.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. Sweet. Dude, this is the most ruddy bull you've ever seen.
God, he's pretty. He is pretty.
I cannot even tell. Like, I told my dad when I shot him, I was like, I don't even know what he is. I just know that he's a herd bull and he's got all the cows. But he's huge.
Look at his mane. That mane is gorgeous.
He died really fast, dude.
Have you ever seen one that dark?
Nope. We're gonna have to pack that hide out. Well, I'm with my dad, and we're tagged out. Yep.
Sweet, what a gorgeous
We freaking
bull.
did all these circles, and I was thinking cussing myself. I will say this, and I don't know if you believe me, but this is the last time I'm hunting this hole right here. This is too much brush.
Not me. I'm coming back.
We've had bulls bugling. I think what we're gonna do is probably just get this bull gutted.
Imagine the size of that one that was screaming right down there. His bugle down there was twice.
This bull sounded so amazing, and he's glunking. Shot him so close.
Wow.
So this is the bull. I told my dad when I shot him, I didn't know, one, if the shot, I mean, I felt pretty good about the shot, but those frontal shots, they make me nervous. This bull, when he came in, it's so brushy in here that I didn't even know what he was. I just know he had about 20 cows. And I pushed him, bugling. Actually, we first set up, my dad set up for me. Thank you, Dad. And we called him, and he came and got all his cows, and his cows were all around us. And all his cows got up and ran to him. And we tried to keep up with him, and then I knew I had to just push him. So I left my dad and charged him, bugling, raking. And I think it was about the 4th or 5th setup. We'd gone about 500 yards up the mountain. He held his ground, turned, and came right in on me, and I shot him at about 8 yards. And we're going to check out the shot in a second here. But just want to thank my dad for hunting with me. It's, him and I, we've hunted together as a team for a long time, and we make a good team. And I love these North Idaho bulls because they're just gorgeous. This is a gorgeous bull, and I'm very happy with him. Well, we packed a load of meat out, dropped it off the closest road. Now we're hiking to the dirt bikes, and all that's left is 2 hindquarters in the rack and about a half mile of alder hell. I'll show you tomorrow. I'll film what you gotta walk through. All right, going in for 2 hindquarters in the rack. And my stud nephew drove 4 hours to come help me out. 4 hours. Maybe got 3 hours of sleep. That's right. You're a stud. So we're gonna get back to the hindquarters. We're gonna debone them, cut the skull off. Actually gonna put a trail camera out on the wallows that I found yesterday. Leave them out for the rest of the year. And we're gonna take the long way. Last night we tried a shortcut, and it was shorter in distance, but we fought brush so bad. It took us 90 minutes to go less than a half mile, I kid you not. So right now it's about midday. Just gonna wrap around the mountain. It's not gonna be easy, but nothing about elk hunting is. All right, we're hindquarter deboned, this good looking nephew guy right here, and we're gonna go through brush hell.
right, dude. Let's tighten our boots and get ready to rock. Let's get off this mountain. This is North Idaho's finest overgrown mining road or logging road. I don't know how old this road is. Trying to get an elk through here is pretty tough. Plus a hind quarter. We're almost there.
That's a killer shot right there.
Yeah, that's for the killer guy. That's for the guy that kills.
All right, to the bull.
Wait a minute.
Gotta give me that. Plural, multiple bulls.
To the 3 bulls.
Josh, grab yourself a Coors if you want one.
What, by the
You guys
way,
listen?
Dan's bull had a most impressive schlong.
Did you feel it?
No, I looked at it and I was
Did you
like,
touch it?
No, it's
I mean,
gnarly,
what's
dude.
impressive about a schlong? Either
Well,
on
it's
a
about
human or an
that
animal?
long, and it's got like,
Look at this schlong.
it's got
on
like
that.
things on it.
So if we were showering together, would you say that about me?
No.
Oh.
I wouldn't.
Look at the schlong on you.
What you mean? What you mean? You need a dauber.
Hey.
You gotta need a dauber. You dauber.
Hey.
You daubers out.
Here's to Rod's light switch.
Here's to the bull.
Here's to be
Dan's bull.
gotta be
Salute.
knocked up to kill a bull.
Salute.
Whoa, knocked
Knocked up.
Don't get anyone knocked up.
That's good.
It's so smooth. You don't even need a chaser. You do not need a chaser.
All right, the last thing I want to say is I almost didn't put this part in. I am not a drinker. I rarely ever drink, but all the guys were here at elk camp. This was pretty much, one of our last times all together, so we had to drink to the bull, and hopefully you are offended. But it was just a good time, and some of that dialogue in there I am not responsible for. Those are just elk camp jokes that you get to be a part of. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We've got a couple more videos on this series, and I appreciate you guys subscribing, telling your buddies about this series, and hopefully you'll learn something along the way.